When I start course and tournament information, I like to go with the tournament fact sheets. You can find this at the gcsaa.org. Just scroll down to the bottom. You'll see like the media room or something that says media. Find the tournament fact sheets there. What I like about these is it gives you a lot of information. Obviously, you can tell what tournament it is, which golf course is being used, the location, Memphis, Tennessee. You can see the par, the yardage over here. Sometimes they have the stimp meter. This time they did not. And of course, you can see all the course statistics. You can use all of this for data points in your research. Now, for me personally, yardage matters, par matters. I think to some extent, location matters. Of course, golf course matters for like course history. But one of the most important things to me is turf grass. You can see it is Bermuda on everything except for fairways and tees. You can see it's zoysia grass. Now, I don't have any data that goes with zoysia, but if I pull up the cheat sheet again that you can follow along with in the description, I have Bermuda as the grass that is present. Now, the Bermuda stats here, I have events, overall Bermuda, and top 10 percentage. That is their average or their percentage of finishing inside the top 10 on Bermuda golf courses. This data all dates back to 2013. So if you're wondering where those stats come from, it goes all the way back to 2013. Now, to some of these, for some of these golfers in the field, it doesn't really matter that it goes back to 2013. Adam Scott, Justin Rose, older golfers, it will matter. But I think it's a fair, I mean, my data just goes back to 2013 just to begin with. I think that's fine. And honestly, if Justin Rose pops a little bit because he has data that goes back that far, I think that's totally okay. Because at least we know he's good, or he has been good on Bermuda. And then I also have another stat that says last year Bermuda. This is just 365 days ago to this day. What is their Bermuda stats, or what is their average finishing position? You can get that right there. So that is all available to you on the cheat sheet when it comes to, like, you know, the course fit, essentially. You have course history, again, TPC Southwind, and then we have Bermuda grass. Once again, I do not have zoysia grass information, so keep that in mind. Also, if you want to use Course Architect, now Ron Pritchard, I don't really remember any of the other golf courses that he has designed on tour. I don't even know if he has. But if you wanted to use that as a piece of, or a research point, you certainly can. Or a data point to research, you certainly can. But those are kind of like the main points that I like to look at. Again, par, yardage, you can use location. I think that's fine. The golf course, obviously. But most important, the turf grass. I think those are important pieces to use when researching. Now, when it comes to the tournament, again, you can find this on the cheat sheet. I keep track of the strength of field points. Now, it's a little bit different than what the old OWGR used to do. If you are unfamiliar, OWGR revamped how they rate strength of field. Now it's based off of this weird point system that personally I don't care for. At least I haven't been sold on it yet. I kind of like to see the bigger numbers, you know, the disparities, because like I don't know what the OWGR is right now for, or the strength of field in the new system. I forgot to look before jumping on, but they have it like 12 versus 10 versus 9 versus 8, stuff like that. It's something similar to that. It's hard to get a gauge off of that unless you really understand the scoring system. Whereas like 7-10, last week at the Wyndham Championship, I think it was like 280 something. So you can see there's a huge jump. We can tell that this is a tournament that has a really big strength of field. So that's what I like to use. I like to use, because then we can also gauge it based off of older events. I think the highest I've ever seen was like 815 or 820, something like that. So 710 is pretty good. And I could actually be wrong on that. Maybe it was 850. It was the PGA Championship at Kiowa Island, the one that Phil won. So strength of field. Now, the other pieces to understand here, it's the top 70. This is the first leg of the playoffs. It's top 70 in the FedEx Cup playoffs. I heard, again, this is a heard thing. I didn't read this. I don't know if it's exactly true. I heard top 50 make the cut at this event. But I don't know if that was someone being confused, as at the end of this event, the top 15 FedEx Cup points then go on to the next leg of the playoffs, but old cut scores used to be top 65 in ties. So I guess, I mean, and really when I tell you though that piece of information, I would say you could use this as research, but whenever is there a top 50 in you know, for a cut, where the top 50 golfers make the cut? You probably have to look at like the Masters, stuff like that. I don't think it's all that relevant. And I really don't care about quote unquote cut makers at this event. I'm just trying to find birdie makers. I'm trying to find top 10 finishers. That's what I'm trying to do. That's exactly what the sweet spot process tries to do. Find top 10 finishers. So I personally don't care, but it's just data to provide you. There's 70 golfers in the field. Maybe it's top 50 that make the cut. Maybe it's top 65. Just be aware of that. If that's something that's important to you, just, you know, research it, double check on it. I apologize. I don't have that information for you. But it is a limited field. So building lineups, it's going to be a bit creative. And I think the bucket system will help us with doing that. So that covers the course and tournament information.